What is up, cool kids? I'm Cool Trainer Gavin, and welcome to our team builder for week 5 of the GPL against Nick, aka PC Bloodmaster, and the that was last season, the San Diego Gallades. Now, his team is just really tough to build around because it has a lot of threats. Some of them are a little bit one-dimensional, such as, like, I'll read you his team. He's got Mega Gallade, Tapu Fini, Jirachi, Togekiss. The fact that he took those back to back was like, you're just trying to flinch everyone to death, bro. Volcanion, Fortress, Goodra, Torkoal, Cresselia, Frostlass, Steelix, and Electros. Now when I said one-dimensional, I was mostly looking at Fortress. Very good at what it does, but it really only does one thing, namely set up hazards and rapid spin. Torkoal, pretty much the same thing. Sets up Sun, but he doesn't really have too much to abuse the Sun, if I'm being perfectly honest. But it also sets up hazards and rapid spins. Cresselia is just fat and sits on the field, toxics things, sets up Calm Minds, and can sweep you if you're not ready for it. Steelix sets up rocks, is fat, sits on the field until you kill it. And then Jirachi and Togekiss spreads status and flinch things to death. But his team works together really well because, you know, nothing on his team is particularly fast. The fastest thing is the Mega Gallade at 110 speed. Mega Gallade and Frostlass both have base 110 speed. So that was sort of my benchmark because you can't obviously Choice Scarf Mega Gallade. So anything that I wanted to be fast, I just did it so that they would outspeed Mega Gallade. That's the only thing that I'm really trying to outspeed. Because Frostlass doesn't hit super hard. Even Choice Specs can have a hard time breaking through some of these Pokemon that I've picked this week. And, you know, my faster Pokemon would not be faster than common Choice Scarfers anyway. So, but first we have Glamour, our Florges, this week holding the leftovers with Defog, Aromatherapy, Moonblast, and Synthesis. His team has a decent amount of power on it, but a large majority of that power is from the special side. Like, other than Mega Gallade, potentially Jirachi. Actually, Jirachi is usually physical. So say Mega Gallade and Jirachi. Nothing else on this team has a lot of physical power. Volcanion's physical attack is better than it gets credit for, but it doesn't get Water Stab. But I could see him running like Flare Blitz, Scarf Volcanion if he's got Sun up. I could see him doing that. But overall, very much, you know, more offensive on the special side. So we're running max HP, max special defense, and I feel like this wall is a good portion of his team. Obviously, I don't think he would want his Gallade in on this anyway, because this set does live a lose Poison Jab if it's not set up with Swords Dance yet, and then does a really respectable chunk of damage back with Moonblast, and I don't think he wants to take that kind of damage. This is just generally to sit around, make sure that we don't get statused as much as I possibly can with Aromatherapy, and keep his hazards off of my side of the field. Next, we have Jack Black coming back at you again with the Power Herb this week. This set is a little bit of an unconventional one. It does not have high jump kick. I didn't see much of a need for it. You know, a lot of his team members either resist it or like their physical defense is just too good. So like he could easily switch his Finny in on Hawlucha. He could easily switch his Togekiss in on Hawlucha. His Fortress, you know, any number of things. So I didn't really think I needed high jump kick this week. So instead, what I did was Acrobatics, Sky Attack, Fire Punch, and Swords Dance. So the idea is to say Gallade or maybe even Steelix, if it's low enough, knocks out a Pokemon. The idea would be to bring in Hawlucha, Swords Dance turn 1, and then Power Herb Sky Attack something and blow it away. And then because we use the power herb, we have our acrobatics at full power, and then we have fire punch for the fortress, so we're not just completely walled by it. That's the idea with this set. It does outspeed Gallade. Gallade max speed gets to 350. So I decided, you know, if we have this in versus Gallade, I'm just gonna click Sky Attack. That's just my play. It's not, I don't believe, a guaranteed OHKO. I looked at the calc. I don't have the calcs up, but I don't believe it's a guaranteed OHKO. But it's with any sort of trip damage, that's gonna kill it. And then because he has brought Gallade, I think, every week except for one, and he's very fond of Mega Gallade. So because of that, we brought Donphan, max HP, max defense. This thing eats Gallade alive. Its close combat is a 3-hit KO. After which point, we can just play rough and knock it out. We also have Roar. If I have like a really strong feeling that he's going to try and set up on me, I'm just going to click Roar and get him out of there. Because after one round of Stealth Rock, Absol's Night Slash takes it out if I'm at +2. And I also am EV'd to just outspeed Mega Gallade, but we'll talk about that in a second. We have Earthquake just for general damage. If he's running physical Volcanion, like I don't think he would, but if he does, that's what this is for as well. Earthquake's gonna do a lot of damage. Flare Off is there almost exclusively for the Gallade. A little bit for the Goodra as well. Roar for setup, and then Stealth Rock for general Stealth Rock purposes, because that makes the difference between Absol's +2 Night Slash being a guaranteed OHKO and a likely OHKO, which is a big difference, especially on Showdown. Plus, you know, it helps chip away at the Volcanion, the Togekiss, which is going to be super annoying, the Torkoal, breaks Steelix's sturdy if it doesn't have the leftovers, just general utility. I love rocks. Then we have Choice Scarf Heatran making its return this week with Earth Power, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, and Nature Power. You know, the top 3 moves are pretty self-explanatory, just for general coverage for, you know, Steelix for these two, Flash Cannon for the Togekiss, these two also help with the Jirachi, and this Heatran puts in a pretty good amount of work versus his team in general, except for the Gallade. And because of that, we have Nature Power. And this isn't even a guaranteed thing. This, A, requires that he brings Tapu Fini, and B, requires that grassy or misty terrain is up while both Heatran and Gallade are on the field. Odds of that happening are really terrible, so I don't expect that to happen. And you know, the rest of Heatran's moves will do a good amount to it anyway if it's low enough. But I like getting a little zesty, so we're max special attack, max speed. I might be able to make this modest instead. I haven't looked at that. So 253 times 1.5. Yeah, so I definitely can. So what is 351? So I can bring this all the way down to... I can bring that all the way down to here. And just do that. So this guaranteed to be outspeed Gallade. The only other thing on this team that I could see being a choice Scarfer would be Volcanion. Maybe Electros, but other than that, I don't really see it. But so I like this set a good deal. Scarf Heatran is really cool, just because it's like not a Pokemon that you would expect to see Scarfed too often. I know week 1 that really caught, or was it week 2? I think it was week 2. Really caught, who did we play week 2? Scott. Really caught Scott off guard. Yeah, so that's enough about Heatran. Then we have Angst, our Mega Absol. This is the set that I'm probably... Actually, I took it back. Wesley Snipes, the Necrozma, is the set that I'm most worried about, whether it's going to be effective, but we'll get there when we get there. We have Player Off, Night Slash, Sword Dance, and Stone Edge. We are EV'd to outspeed Gallade. I wish I could run it Adamant, but unfortunately we are not fast enough to do that. Flare Off is there for the Gallade, Night Slash is there for Stab, Stone Edge is there for the Togekiss and the Volcanion, as well as the Torkoal. Swords Dance is just generally nice. I thought about running Sucker Punch, but like I said, there's nothing really faster other than like a Scarf Frostlass. That's pretty much it. Maybe Scarf Goodra, maybe Scarf Volcanion. But other than that, I don't really think so. So that's pretty much it. Just, you know, huge physical power, especially at +2. Pretty much it. You know, this is really good against Fortress because it can't bounce back our, or we bounce back its hazards. If it tries to Thunder Wave us, I think it gets Thunder Wave, I'm not positive. But we bounce that back as well, so it pretty much has to Volt Switch out or just Rapid Spin on us if it can. And we can just set up on the Fortress. That's also a really good option for us. And then Wesley Snipes, and then a Necrozma with the Wiki Berry, max HP, 156 defense, 100 special defense, bold nature, with Calm Mind, Stored Power, Moonlight, and Heat Wave. Now, I'm really unsure about whether this set's going to work at all. You know, this is sort of, I think this is the least good Necrozma set. This is the Calm Mind, Stored Power one, and you know, I made my own kind of changes to it. But the idea is to bring this out on something that can't really touch it, and that can't really status it. So, not Cresselia, maybe Finny. Finny would probably be best to do this on, just because it doesn't hit super hard. You know, potentially the Fortress might be kind of nice, the Torkoal might be kind of nice. But anyway, the point is to just start literally just spamming Calm Mind until you're at least +2, and then just clicking Stored Power. Because at that point, Stored Power becomes, what is it? So 20. So that becomes base 100 power, but you're also at +2 special attack. So it does really good damage even when you're not invested in it at all. We have Moonlight for longevity. Then we have Heat Wave, mostly just because I didn't see another better option. You know, this takes out the Fortress, and in case he does bring Torkoal, if he has the Sun up, we have Sun boosted Heat Wave. Other than that, you know, I considered like Earth Power, but we already have Ground type moves on these two. Power Gem doesn't really help out too much other than the Volcanion and Togekiss, but overall, I think Heat Wave is generally better. And yeah, so this set could either win me the game or be an absolute dud and do nothing whatsoever. Hopefully it's the former, but I'm really excited. Nick is probably one of the first like good friends that I made on YouTube, so I'm really looking forward to this battle. We have never actually seriously battled, or at least it's been a really long time that I can remember anyway. So if you're watching this, Nick, good luck to you. I'm filming this a couple days ahead of time, but you guys will see the battle going up tomorrow on Easter Sunday. So have fun at church if you're, you know, religious-y. Have fun doing whatever else you do. Eat lots of good food tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video as much as I did, please, please, please like and or subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch at CoolTrainerGav. And until next time, smile later.